Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 weird things caught on security cameras. Many homes and businesses use security cameras to know what's going on at all times, but sometimes the unexpected is caught on camera and security guards have their minds blown. Here are some of the funniest, scariest, and strangest occurrences ever caught on security cameras. Enjoy. But first, subscribe and why not press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10 is Ghost Train. So this very scary footage was recorded in China in 2010. It was recorded at 10:37 at night. At 10:37 PM a train was recorded pulling up to the station. The only thing was, there was no 10:37 train schedule. The security guards watching were baffled, and so was everyone else when this footage was released. The train appears to be transparent and you can't see what's inside. This has led many to say this is a ghost train. Around 40 years earlier, a train derailed from this station, taking many lives. Some say it could be this train as a ghost, but what do you think? Is this camera trickery or the security guards trying to fool us? Or is this actually the real ghost of a train? Next up is Pizza Boy. The last thing you want in your Domino's pizza is somebody's hands in it, but it turns out that might be what you get. That's right, one day a guy in British Columbia ordered a pizza to his apartment. He called Domino's Pizza and they said they'd bring it right over. So the driver brings the pizza over, but when he gets into the elevator of the guy's apartment, he gets a bit hungry. He then sets the pizza down on the floor and starts eating the toppings. Now, he probably thought he was going to get away with this as nobody else was in the elevator with him, but one security guard happened to see this on the surveillance cameras and pressed record. He then leaked it and Domino's Pizza eventually fired the guy, and I totally agree with their decision. Not only is it scamming the guy who bought the toppings, but also you don't want somebody's dirty hands touching up your pizza. I just hope this guy didn't get a tip. And the nasty thing is, this likely isn't the only pizza he's done this to. Who knows, if you live in British Columbia, this guy might have even taken a bite out of your pizza. Next up is dog versus bears. In a battle between a small French bulldog and two bears, who do you think would win? Well, one day in Monrovia, California, two bears tried to get into a house. Now, this could have been very dangerous for the owners, but luckily their French bulldog was outside. Now, you may assume this tiny French bulldog would run away from the two 20-pound bears, but instead the dog named Jules sticks up for its owners and defends the property. It runs after the two bears and the two bears get out of there quickly. It's surprising the bears didn't try and get aggressive to the dog. You can tell that Jules the dog didn't realize the danger it was really in, but perhaps this helped it scare the bears away. The bears eventually jumped over the fence and ran off, and it was only after the owners came out and heard the barking they went and checked the CCTV cameras. They expected the dog had scared off a burglar, but was stunned when they saw the dog had scared off two bears. Forget pit bulls and French dames, just get a French bulldog to guard your home. Next up is reflection. So this video was taken in a dance studio. Now you may be thinking it's not exactly the most creepy place in the world. Well, that's where you would be wrong, because in dance studios there's mirrors everywhere. And if we've learned anything from other videos on this channel, mirrors can be creepy. The video starts off normally with a woman dancing in the mirror. She's checking out her moves, but then decides to sit down when she gets tired. But then something strange happens in the mirror behind her. Despite her remaining still, her reflection turns around and then stands up. The woman then walks off, but her reflection stays in place, staring right at her. Some have said this mirror must be haunted because of this. But what do you think? Some people have said it's not a mirror, but if you look closely, everything else is reflected, so it clearly is. And also the reflection is totally normal until the girl sits down. Check it out and let me know your theories in the comments below. Next up is dog pack versus car. So we've already seen a dog scare off 2 bears, but here's a very scary clip involving a whole pack of dogs. One day a Turkish mechanic returned to his car but it was completely destroyed. He assumed some criminals had destroyed it for some reason, so he called the cops. The cops tried to identify the criminals with security cameras, but what they saw was stunning. The video shows his car parked up normally. Then all of a sudden a pack of 8 dogs run up to his vehicle and begin destroying it. They totally tear it to shreds using only their teeth. This is very creepy and mysterious, and I'm not sure why these dogs did what they did. Also, these dogs aren't wild and appear to be of different breeds. Who knows what your dog does when it goes out at night? Did this guy somehow annoy this pack of dogs? Perhaps he had doggy treats hidden in his car and the dogs wanted to get to them. The guy was baffled and has no explanation, and neither did the police. But what do you think was going on here? It's a good thing the guy wasn't in his car at the time, as this would be very scary. Just imagine being stuck in your car as dogs tear it to shreds. Next up is haunted school. So when we think of haunted places, we usually think of graveyards and abandoned buildings. But one place you definitely don't think about being haunted is a school. Well, in October of 2017, something strange began happening at Deer Park Christian Brothers School in Cork Island. A security camera in the school began picking up some odd things. First off, a door in a hallway opened suddenly and then slammed shut. After that, the lockers begin shaking and then some open. And then a wet floor sign goes flying. Now, you may think this is just editing, but no, there's sound, so this is happening in real life. The footage was released online and everyone was baffled, including the school's principal. He said he couldn't understand how it happened, and he said if it was a prank, it was very well done. However, he also admitted the school is built on a site known as Green Gallows. In the 19th century, criminals were hung here, so perhaps because of where the school is built, it means it's haunted. But apparently no other hauntings have happened in the school since, so maybe this was a one-time thing. Do you think this was a prank by bored kids who wanted to shut down the school to get time off? Or do you think this is connected to the Green Gallows site the school was built on and it's haunted? Check out the video to make up your mind. Next up is dog toy. So one day a woman was doing something totally normal. She was walking around in her backyard when all of a sudden she sees her dog's toy. She picks it up to move it, but then realizes she's made a big mistake. What she picked up was in fact not her dog's toy, but a venomous snake. She couldn't properly see it in the dark, but it was actually a small venomous snake. She couldn't properly see it as it was dark, but the snake is very venomous. It's crazy how she nonchalantly picked up a very dangerous thing. However, when she realizes, she throws it and freaks out. Luckily, this woman was fine and was not bitten by the snake, but had she not realized this wasn't her dog's toy sooner, it could be a different story. I'm glad this lady's okay, but it always goes to show you should check before you pick something up in the dark. You never know, you could be picking up a scary snake.
Carla Rosso found out they do in a frightening but funny encounter caught on camera.
I grabbed it, and then as I was going up, I realized that it was...
Next up is Poltergeist. So we've already seen some creepy haunted ghost videos on this list. Well, this one is very scary as it's in someone's home. Home is supposed to be a safe and nice place, but imagine yours being haunted. Well, that's exactly what happened to one guy. You see, when he went to work, he would always come back and his house was trashed. At first he thought people were breaking in, but he soon realized that wasn't the case. So he set up a camera to catch what was going on in the act. And when he got back from work and saw the footage, he was shocked. As you can see, his cupboard opens by itself. Then glasses begin to fly out of the cupboard. A short while later, you can see what appears to be a fork sliding across the kitchen counter. How do you think this was done? I really can't come up with an explanation. You can see there's clearly no string pulling this stuff, so what was going on here? A lot of people are skeptic and say they simply don't believe in ghosts. But I seriously don't know any other explanation for this. Next up is Dancing Cops. So we've seen a lot of scary and mysterious videos on this list, but this one is actually pretty funny. One week in the El Paso County Sheriff's Office in Colorado Springs, Colorado, there was elevator malfunctions. So to see what was going on and to diagnose the problem, a camera was placed inside elevator number 2. But instead they caught something much more funny. A sheriff walks into the elevator and thought he was alone, but instead he started dancing to the elevator music. Another cop then walks in and she seems confused, but then she starts dancing too. A third cop then enters and everyone stops, but when he leaves and another one gets in, they all start dancing. With all the bad videos of police recently, it's nice to see this. It's an incredibly fun video to watch, and sadly I can't play the music, but I will show you a few clips of these guys dancing. It's still very hilarious and is bound to put you in a good mood today. With all the scary videos on this list, I think you need one. Plus I wanted to end this video on a high note. So without further ado, check out these dancing cops. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the best video on this list. And be sure to check out my second channel too. There's some amazing videos on there and there'll be a link to one on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.